Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Colorwood for YouTube back with to do a review of To Be Night and Beguile, Book 6, Chapter 11, LUNAE, MALUM, Part 2. So, in the previous chapter, Nick accidentally caused a fire in the constable's uh, office, in the home where the constable's office is, and also where the constable lives. He did not mean to. The blaze starts by the end of the chapter. They're trying to get out. Things collapse around, Ashia. Nick here is trying to search for her underneath the stuff, and he does find her. She's got a very, very weak pulse, so he has to get her out of there. He has to get her to the hospital. He picks her up and he runs. And this is really to an interesting callback because, and John brings this up in his story, where he had lost Alice in a fire, his previous love. And this was all to, you know, not just remembering, but close to him because he had remembered how he lost Alice, and his thought process was, not her too, not Ashia too, not he didn't want to lose her the same way Alice died because of a fire. This time, though, would it be smoke inhalation? It isn't directly. Again, if you talk to a firefighter, and John has this right, I'm not revealing anything, by the way. I'm not saying she lives or dies. That's left as a cliffhanger. Is like, is she, because she's got a pulse. By the end of it, she's still got a pulse, but he does just get her to the hospital, and the nurses take her, and the doctors come. So they ask him how he is. He goes, other than a few burn marks here, I'm fine. If you ask a firefighter what's the number one cause of death when a house fire occurs, it's smoke inhalation. So he's got that right. That is correct. At the festival, at the Moon Festival that is going on in the center of the village, the the mayor is giving this big grand speech. He's receiving some terrible news. A lot fucking worse. His aide is like, yeah, this is going on. He's like, what? Are you sure? Somebody notices the smoke from the constable's office. There's a lot of things that go down here in this whole sequence of events. Because here's where things start to go completely bad for the residents of Welshport, if you will. The werewolf shows up. Celeste is under the realization that it's Philip. At least that's her belief. Also, Jake, though somebody shouts it's as the werewolf is tearing some people apart and frightening them. By the way, the gates close. They close some of the people in with the werewolf, which is very, very, very interesting because it makes you think, because the lords, are zigzagging. You have Jacob on the run with Celeste. You have, trying to make sure I get anyway, Evie and Matthew getting out of there with her sons. So the kids, some people here survive. You have Jacob, Celeste, Fabian, Evie, Matthew, Evie's kid, Dr. Gregory, Dr. Peter Ward. So Dr. Gregory Ward, I'm sorry. It's not Gregory Ward. Fucker, it's Peter Ward. I'm calling myself that. His wife, Laurel, sorry. Rebecca and Caspian. Now, there is a main character death, though, in here. So, By the way, Dr. Peter Ward lets it out. He confronts Gregory to other people where people can't, some people can't hear this. He goes, "You took a Shia, you had her," because he says Nick, where Nick really is, when the smoke comes. So, really good reveal here. You also have Baxter Murphy and his sister, Cora. Um, the photographer gets his arm torn off. This is a very werewolf move and well written and well done. I pictured this as I was reading this. The arm just coming straight off. Like, you ever see Jaws 4? You ever see you ever see American Werewolf in London? I think where the guy's head comes off the body. That's how I pictured that, the guy's arm getting tore off. And the photographer was dead, by the way. He died. Baxter is scared shitless. He's like, "Oh my God, Cora got knocked down. Did she get scratched?" John doesn't say here, but I got a sneaking suspicion about that one. I got my eyebrows raised on that one. Um, from what I read, I've read over this like twice. So I don't think I missed anything. Um, holy hell! That's all I'll say. The werewolf, and you have a very interesting uh, Charlotte's powers igniting Mary's. Mary frees the people who were in prison, who were, because the gates are closed. She lifts the gate, people get out. Now people can go out and come back in, and you do have that moment because three primarily people running toward the werewolf: Father Ryan, Fatima Braga, Philip's mother, and Gregory Rains, the constable. The constable. And what? By the way, Jacob also knows that that is not his nephew. His nephew's a vampire, not a werewolf. You also have a real. Jacqueline knows that that is not Sebastian, and Jonathan questions her on it. So you have some tension there, but she snaps her fingers and kills that a bit. We'll see if that stays, but um, so Gregory pulls his gun. Before all that, though, what you have happen is Fatima is talking to Philip. "Oh, you got to get out of here!" And Father Ron's like, "He's gonna kill you." A man of God had no faith here, and you know what? He's absolutely fucking right. Um, though he doesn't attack Fatima, I mean, Gregory Rains points his gun. He shoots at the werewolf. The werewolf lunges. The werewolf gets it in the shoulder. Gregory Rains gets it in the neck and bleeds to death and dies. Um, Holy Jesus. Uh, Morgan also wondered, Morgan also wondered, who was staying with Mary and her daughter at the cabin, also wonders, will Philip ever return back to normal? Will he stay in the werewolf transformation? Which is a nice posing question by a character who's there, by a character who is familiar with Philip and, not necessarily fully familiar with the werewolf legend because, again, you don't know what's going to happen. But Gregory is dead here. Will Ashia die in a hospital? So, really, really, really well written. I enjoyed this a lot. Very great use of the werewolf because you have a lot of things going on. Baxter has, in every way, Baxter Murphy has now divided this town. He has turned, not divided. He's turned this town against the Lords, and that is now a really, really, really interesting dynamic. If you needed proof that the town is against the Lords, I would say this is your chapter, for sure. In my opinion, I could be wrong. So really, really good. I'm going to review the next chapter. But yeah, link to Be Night and Beguile will be in the description box. Go check this out, guys.